There's dogs with a name, listening to podcasts with no name. Let it make a man his job, talking about fuck all. So sit back, relax and enjoy. The podcast with no aim, the podcast with no aim, the podcast is the podcast with no aim.
Hello and welcome. You are listening to a podcast with no aim. I'm tired and depressed and miserable, and the world is terrible and full of spiders. Joel, say hello.
Hello.
Nick, say hello.
Howdy.
That'll
You broke the rules.
I broke the rules. I screwed up already.
That'll do. So, the podcast goes like this. We're going to talk for 5 minutes, then we're going to change the subject. Then we'll talk for 10 minutes, and we'll change the subject. We'll do that for about 40 minutes. In case you didn't notice, I'm very tired. We'll do that for about 40 minutes. Then we'll try to justify the fact that we wasted 40 of your life minutes by pitching a product that will never ever get made. Sound good? Alright, let's go then. Last week, I've got a nice conversation starter for us. Last week, we sort of started, last episode, we started talking about video games, and that annoyed poor little Joel. So, I suggest that next time we start going off on a tangent that one of us has nothing to say about, we have safe words. So,
Oh god.
so if say, Joel, you start talking about music, or Nick, you start talking about what you're going to do with your dirty, dirty little slurry slur, I will shout out, I'm getting tired having this orgasm. And Joel, what will you shout at us?
Tangerine. I don't know.
Tangerine, I don't know. Okay. And Nick?
How about that ball game yesterday? Because I'm such a sports fan, you know.
Sports, go sports. Are you playing
Yeah.
a sports
Yes.
ball? I also like
Yeah.
sports ball.
I like playing sports ball. What's your favorite sports ball team?
Oh, you know that one.
The one with the
guys.
shirts.
Yeah, they wear the shirts. Some of them have hair.
Yeah.
You know,
Some of them might wear caps. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty.
shoes.
It's pretty
Yeah, yeah,
sick,
yeah.
guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Ah,
Oh god.
I am slightly drunk on tiredness and coke, and I don't know if that's possible. Anyway,
Coke?
that's our opening conversation, I guess.
yeah. So, what about the sports ball and stuff? What's your favorite sport?
I don't play
I actually
sports.
like one sport, but I only like to play it. I like badminton. But I could never watch any game. And I used to like to play football for the Americans. That's soccer. But then people started to get too serious about it, and it just takes all the fun away when
Yeah.
they try to get competitive, and I just play sports ball to have fun. I don't know. Am I the bad guy?
Can I just
Yes.
say? Can I just say, right? Football versus soccer. Which is the correct game? Which is the correct name for a game in which you kick a ball with your foot? Is
Rugby.
it football or soccer?
It's rugby.
You,
To be contrarian.
you can't see this right now, but I'm doing really evil, starey, angry eyes at you right now.
Yeah.
Well, I say you, I mean my computer.
No, rugby might be the only one of those sports that I could actually watch because it's at a fixed length. So you know exactly when it's going to end, and the games are pretty short. So
well, isn't that the case with every game except cricket?
No.
Oh,
Oh
God,
no,
not cricket.
no
not at all.
badminton neither.
Oh god, flashbacks. My favourite sports is Robot Wars, so I beat all of you.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true. That probably wins. They stopped doing Robot Wars in the US.
It
They
got
started
rebooted
doing
this
them
year in
again.
the UK, bitches! It was so good. Doro Breen just going down and insulting all the robots. It was brilliant.
I used to play some basketball, and then I played a little bit of soccer, which is football to you guys.
Yeah, I just want
the
to
correct
say
name.
the name. Say
correct
the
term.
name.
I used to do cross country and like track and things like that, but Those aren't like sports that you like.
That's just the worst.
Yeah.
We had to do those every year at my school, and I was surprised nobody ever broke a leg because it right at the start it just went like 90 degrees downhill, roots everywhere. Nobody ever tripped, and that's. But once after the race, I laid down on my stomach, and I have problems with my lung, and I passed out. And yeah, because I couldn't breathe and I nearly died. That was a good year. That was fun.
I have asthma, but I used to run cross country in like 6 to 10 miles a day. Not even close to that anymore.
You're insane. You're
Yeah.
clinically insane.
I was not very good still.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And that's why you should learn to give up.
You know, the thing about tripping, you get so good with footwork, having to run that much and watch where your footing is, that I don't ever trip and fall down hard, like unless somebody like shoves me or something. And I also walk up really silently to people because that's also a thing that you need to learn. Not
If
to
you're a
spook the person
ninja
in front
or
of
a rapist.
you. Or a runner who doesn't want to spook the person in front of them.
Seriously?
No, I'm just envisioning just Usain Bolt, like just getting a guy running up behind him, super sneaky, and just yelling "Boo!" at him.
What?
And he just trips over.
Well, if they hear you coming, they'll speed up because they just know that someone... Like, people run faster when somebody's around them. So it's like somebody's watching them or like anything like that. So just the moment that they know that you're there, they just instinctively speed up. So you want to avoid that.
That's the most interesting thing I've ever heard about sports.
And it'll ruin them when you pass them and they never heard you. It just demoralizes them. All right. Someone can derail at this point.
Nick, you do it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So there's been a lot going on, and so I've thought of dozens of questions. And now that you're asking me, I can't think of a single one of them.
Or I'll give you 10 minutes. Joel, talk!
Oh shit.
You're both terrible at this.
So, my week was kind of pointless and wasted, so I didn't have anything fun. But yesterday I was really tired, and I can't remember. But I was just so tired. But I know that I wrote something on my phone, like in a memo app, and I'm going to read it. I have seriously, like, I'm not lying. This is not a bit. I have no clue. But I think that's the only thing I've got, so...
This is going to be something horribly offensive, and I'm so scared. iTunes won't take us!
Okay.
If Joel starts out with, this isn't racist or anything, but...
So I can't really open it, but I'm gonna read. So, here it goes. Why are maps so beautiful? If I had to pick a fetish for an object, it'd be maps. There's always something interesting about maps. 7, if there's nothing interesting, just a straight line. How does nature do that?
What?
Fuck it!
Okay. Oh God.
What? Okay.
I don't know.
You're talking about how much you want to just have a fetish for maps.
I have
It's
no
almost
clue.
poetic.
Oh God, I have no clue what I was thinking at that point. It was quite late last night.
Did you like have a nightmare, wake up, and then write it down?
I'm
Or
imagining
like-
you watched Raise of the Lost Ark and just got really turned on at the map travelling bit.
When he sees the little dot for the plane going across the map, it's like, oh yeah.
In his dream it was white.
A family member walks in and he covers himself. He's like, I'm not doing anything. It's just the map.
Just got a map, just like holding it just in bed, lying there just with it, and just mentioning like just vaguely sexual things, and it's just his parents walk in and go, it's not what it looks like! It's not what it looks like! It's just a ticket. It's just a glory
response
hole
would
in the
probably be-
middle.
But I think I've got a point because
No, you
have
don't!
ever-
No, you don't!
Maps are really nice. I like maps. I mean, I have no clue about them, but they just look nice. Like, have you ever seen the coastline of Turkey and all the islands in the Mediterranean Sea and so on? It's really lovely.
There's a difference between something being really lovely and I have a fetish for this thing. And you give.
You didn't
and
say
here's
that
the
I have a
critical point.
fetish.
You keep giving me shit for having a dream in which Sean Connery was sexually assaulted.
Okay, that's a bit weirder because
Joel, I could recommend some YouTube cartography videos.
This is right now.
And,
We're just turning into
you
porn
can use that.
recommendations. Great.
it said if I had to pick a fetish, not it's my
But
fetish.
it's not a
So
fetish.
I guess this has been the longest way to get around to a question, but I guess what would be something that you admire enough to the point where it could be a fetish? I guess. I guess that was your question. I don't know.
I don't think he had a question.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do
I think
that.
he kind of just wanted to like test the waters of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I want to just kind of gauge how people are gonna react to it. So I'll pretend I was drunk or something when I said it. Oh, I don't remember what it is. Oh, would you look at this? It's me talking about maps.
Is there a Reddit dedicated to this?
I can guarantee you
I
without
bet there's
checking,
one
there's
called
lots of
map
Reddits
porn.
dedicated to map fuckers.
We should make one.
I can't be bothered, to be honest.
No, as I said,
And we
in
should
the
make it that
picture.
you need to have contributed at least 100 posts before you can join it.
This, oh my god, this reminds me of a thing that I found out about last year. This is the thing that makes me the happiest in the world. A guy had sex with a bike and got sentenced for it.
Okay, first off, no, I don't want to know. And second of all, what? Where did he come from?
And third of all, ouch.
No, right. This is what happened. Basically, a guy was in like a hotel or a hostel thing, and he had a bike in with him. And apparently, it was meant to be an innocent joke where the maid would walk in and he'd just be like rubbing himself up against a bike, and he wouldn't acknowledge it's the maid.
Okay, so yeah, no insertion. Right. I was just picturing the most awkward.
There's
Go
no
on.
good visualization to go with that.
No.
I have to think of a couple.
I'm just cringing.
He was just like humping the wheel
No,
or
it
something.
was like just humping the frame, like rubbing it against himself, and it
Right.
was. I just,
Okay.
oh my god, the news article that. Imagine being the news reporter having to type out the word psychosexualist. Psychosexual.
There's people who just type it onto a teleprompter and stuff like that. It probably made their day to have the reporter actually read that
Oh
back
my
to them.
god, I hope that was on the televised news, because that was it was a news article that I read. But my god, I want to see a TV thing where they do that. I'm gonna Google that when I'm done. I'm so.
But not from a trashy TV station, but like a really serious one.
Oh my god,
and
I'm just imagine
then-
Sky News. Oh my god, what if it was one of the
is that
what if
serious?
it was one of the like massively right wing guys over at like Fox News or something talking about how the degenerates of this generation were going around fucking bicycles?
You know, they
I wouldn't
probably
put
do
it past them.
They
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
would.
They're involved now, heavily in the bicycle sex industry.
Here's the thing: if you like went to a bike rental service and you had sex with that bike, would that make it a prostitution service?
I plead the fifth.
But what constitutes as prostitution? Like, first of all, it's rape because the bike didn't consent. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's not consensual in any way, but unless it honks twice.
Do you
Or-
really have
or
a
ring
bike
slice.
with a horn which you have
a
to
bike.
honk?
This isn't a motorbike. This is a bicycle.
Are you
as
a
in
clown?
A pedal
Bicycle. Yeah,
Do they have
the ring or the honk honk.
ring 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 ring?
Who has a honking thing on a bike except clowns?
I was about to say
Kids,
that.
little kids.
Seriously?
In Germany,
That's-
you guys usually just have the ring type thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, but in other countries they do have the horn.
bicycle, bicycle.
Want to ride my
Okay, I'm
bike.
gonna derail.
Song go.
Want to ride my bike.
I have a topic.
Okay, let's get away from the bike fucking.
I recently was traveling between the U.S. and Germany, and so international flight means lots of really crappy, shitty movies. What was the shittiest movie you watched last year?
Ooh.
Oh my god. It's probably something I didn't watch out of my own accord. Like something I had to watch with my sister.
Yeah.
Or so on. But I don't know, it was pretty busy, so I didn't have much time to watch
What just
shit
sticks
movies.
out? Even if you only watch good movies, what was the worst
Is
one
this
of
like
those?
films that
It's-
came out last year, or just any film that we saw?
came out last year would be preferable, but
Yeah,
you know,
I don't-
if
I
you
don't really
just
watch-
haven't seen a movie in
Oh shit, no, I know. Right, so
okay,
there's this one documentary on Netflix about it's like a truther documentary about moon stuff and aliens on the moon and so on, and has really bad CGI graphics, and the whole argument is based upon like the old Apollo program images, which are really blurry and bad quality. They see these weird shapes like a gun turret or a nuclear power plant on the moon, or a face. But in the newer images, which are higher resolution, of course, NASA tried to cover that up so you can't see that on there. And that's basically the whole movie. And at the end, they show a weird wax figure, which they say is actually the body of an alien. I don't know, that was really shit, but the worst part about that was I didn't make it to the end, but then Netflix recommended loads of truther documentaries and so on. It's really annoying.
honestly, there's no way real life could have happened. No way.
Of course not.
You know, this one guy that I met on the street once, he said, that's not true. And I thought about it, and I mulled it around for a long time and realized aliens, witches, chupacabra, Bigfoot, they're all real.
It's funny, now that you say that, it all becomes so much clearer.
Yes. And ghosts.
It's
Don't forget
actually
about ghosts.
called Aliens on the Moon: The Truth Exposed. So that's all you need to know about that. But in a close second is a German rom-com which I saw in a movie theater, and I went with a friend. I just went for them. I didn't actually care for the movie, and I don't know. Yeah, but I think that one was worse. How about you, Matt? What did
Yeah.
you
Well, I
see?
kind of already talked about the worst film I saw because it was Nerve, which is what we talked about, I think, last week.
Yes,
Not
we
where
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's still at the top of the
So
list, right?
Yeah.
I did say I also mentioned the David Brent movie, which was pretty awful. You might not class this as a film, and it kind of came out this last few weeks. But I've watched the new series of Sherlock. They are an hour and a half long, so I'm counting them as films, and
Oh god.
it's so stupid. It is so stupid, and it thinks it's genius.
Did you like the previous
I'll
seasons?
tell you what. There have been. There have been
4
13
seasons.
episodes so far.
All
By
right.
my estimate, there have been 5 good episodes.
Okay. I think Stephen Moffat should quit Doctor Who and just go to Sherlock and leave me alone. And I don't really care that much for Sherlock. I read the books by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle when I was younger a lot. I read them all. I have them all in
Hey,
a really
guys,
nice
hey.
book. Yeah.
Guys, how about that sports ball game yesterday?
Oh, sorry. I will quickly say though, I've been rewatching old Doctor Who, and I'm not going to say it for too long because sports ball. Am I right? But I was watching the Doomsday episode, and Joel, you know which one I'm talking about, right? Doomsday. That's the
Yeah.
episode that makes everyone cry. You started texting me. I think it was just before we started, just before two episodes back. I was watching that episode, And just at the emotional climax, where I'm just bawling in tears, I get just a message from Nick just saying, "Are we on to record in a couple days?" And I was just, "You bastard!" And then I look back, and Catherine Tate's standing there in a brace, just going, "What the hell is this place?"
I'm glad that's how you represent my voice. By text. Is that how you actually read text? Is that just me?
Oh,
or
I
everybody?
read. Believe me, I could have done it far more offensively.
Do you read people's texts in their voices or like in a generic reading
I don't
voice?
tend to read stuff in our voice. No.
Seriously? Like, but if you read something, there's a voice in your head. Or am I sounding crazy?
No, I get what you mean. It kind of happens to me on Twitter sometimes, but it doesn't happen with texts.
Okay.
Now on Twitter, I can't help but read it in like a sarcastic voice.
It's the internet. You have to.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? And all he's doing is like, it's a beautiful day outside. Look at these mountains. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
You optimistic bastard.
Those mountains did not request permission to be shot. The condescending voice of Tumblr.
But what would be better if everyone used emojis all the time? Would you prefer that? See, so sarcastic voice it is.
A couple episodes ago, we did the list thing, and that was one of the lists. Is going back to hieroglyphics.
Oh right, yeah.
But the emoji movie's happening, so that's a thing.
We talked about that.
I saw an emoji board game in a department store somewhere, but I didn't look at it.
Is emoji even a brand? I thought it was just the name of the thing.
Yeah, no, it isn't a brand. It's just like the Unicode committee, something, doing them, but the images themselves are made by, like, iPhones have different emojis from Android phones, I think.
Well, I mean, there's no like standard behind it, but you know,
Right.
people have kind of agreed on it, and so since it's open to the public interpretation as to what they are. So I watched a ton of really bad movies and one or two okay movies on the plane, and
the question.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Getting back to the actual subject before my time runs out. I watched two interpretations of Ghostbusters, modern
They're both
interpretations of Ghostbusters.
They are both good.
The controversial one, which I'm not going to explain which one's which, what came up with a good idea at the beginning, and I was like, oh, this is not going to be so bad. And then proceeded to spend about 20 minutes having conversations between the characters where it looked like they weren't in the same room together.
Oh.
Just like carrying on these
that's
conversations where like the camera's pointing at one person really close up. Then the next person really close up. The next person really close up. And it just went on and on and on. And the dialogue was probably some of the most horrid dialogue that contradicted everything that was going on.
I'm gonna make you really angry.
And then the other one had fucking robots fighting with soldiers in battle armor against ghosts. And you know what? That one wins.
Wait, what?
That's all I'm going to say about it.
I've never seen any Ghostbusters, so I don't know which is which.
It's a movie called Spectral on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's basically Ghostbusters in the military. Visually, the ending way more impressive. So that's it.
I'm
That's
gonna
all I
say
have to
something
say.
that's going to make you quite upset, I think, Nick.
Oh, okay.
I like the new Ghostbusters more than the original.
That's your opinion.
And on that note, we are set for our next diversion.
Oh, that's me.
Before we get into an argument.
Okay, that's me. So I've kind of noticed a little thing that I keep doing in real life, and it's basically have either of you seen House of Cards?
2 episodes, and I couldn't bother to go on.
But what I'm saying is like,
I've not had that time. No.
you know how Frank Underwood kind of turns to the camera and starts talking to them, like, and no one else can acknowledge it. I think I'm finding myself now being somewhat influenced by that, in that I'll be halfway through a lesson and I will just turn to the side and I will start mouthing off, but it'll be like I'm actually looking at something, and
Are you sitting by the wall, or is there
Oh
someone
my
next
god,
to
I'm
you,
so
like
confused. No, I'm like sitting.
like giving you the
It's like
side
me
eyes
sitting.
and
I'm
getting
like
creeped
sat
out?
next to one person on one side, then there's no one on the other side. So I will just look to that side, and I'll just sort
Right.
of like, I will
Okay.
sort of. I'll be doing it subtly, but I am doing it, and it is a bit weird. So, my question is: have you ever like, has anything like that ever happened to you, where like you've watched a TV show and it's kind of influenced you to change your behavior in ways that don't really make any sense? Or am I just crazy? You know, let's talk about that for 10 minutes.
First of all, yes, but second of all, I don't know.
Now, like when I was younger and stuff like that, I'd watch a TV show and be like, "Oh, that's great," and then I'd sit there and like, you know, I'd talk to myself normally when I think I'm alone.
I think everyone does that, don't they?
I've been like, you know, like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, what if this was this?" And then someone would be standing there like listening to me, and like I forget what the name. Brimstone was like a show that I watched that I think influenced me slightly. It was a show where like the pilot was amazing, and then the rest of the show was garbage. It was about a guy who like escapes from hell, and Satan basically hires him to kill other people who escape from hell, and the only way to stop them is to cut out their eyes, which is really dark
That's a kid.
for a
I
afternoon
was gonna
TV
say,
show.
is that a kid show?
No, it's not a kids show, but it came on
Oh,
pretty
right.
close after like the afternoon, really dark, and then it just got really goofy. But like I watched the pilot and I was like really hyped for the next episode, so I was like, "Oh man, that's a great idea." It's like Highlander, but you know, without the chopping off of heads, it's harder to do. So you know, you're gonna have all these situations and stuff. And instead, it was like he got a crappy car from Satan, and he shoots the headlights, and it goes back to hell, and stupid crap like that.
Okay, so how did that influence
Did you
you?
stop-
again?
It's just one of those moments where I'm like talking to myself a great deal about like how awesome it was, just to myself, and I'm like, you know, walking down. This is when I was like, you know, running a whole bunch, so I'd be like running and talking to myself and stuff like that, and like
Wow.
I didn't realize that like I was passing people by, running down the street.
Yeah, but okay, so I'm not really that influenced by any TV shows or movies. Not that I can tell really. Like I copied the Cool from Albert from Community. I said that all the time to my brother, and some in-jokes from the show or so on, because we watched it together. But apart from that, not really. But I do the thing where, of course, I talk to myself. Like I explain my thoughts to myself so I can use them better, like when I try to write lyrics or something. But then when I'm listening to music in private, I always kind of dance to it and then do these weird moves with my hands and tap along and so on. And when I'm waiting at a traffic light or so on, I kind of have the urge to do that, but I know I can't, so I'm trying to do that subtly, or I know which part of the song is coming next, so I have this move I always do, but I can't do it because I'm in public, so I do it in my pockets or something.
In your head.
I think that's a bit weird. I don't know.
Well, so the answer to Matt's question is no, we don't. And maybe, I
What
guess,
I'm
I don't know.
gonna say is, I'm basically the only person that acknowledges the fourth wall.
Maybe you're just more sane than everybody else.
Who
I don't
says
know.
I am the insane one?
Maybe you've been enlightened, you know the truth.
Yeah. Well, it's like they say that about like comic book characters who break the fourth wall, or you know, like the Joker. He's just hyper sane. Well, I guess, you know, there's something that could be taken from that question is like, has there ever been a saying that like you've said too much that someone has had to tell you to shut up and stop saying it?
I do keep bursting into like the Friends theme song at times to annoy people. I was I'll just be a friend standing at the cash, at the self checkout, and I'll just start just going. So no one ever told you life was gonna be. And I'll go through the entire song just to annoy them. And then when I finally finish, I stop for that perfect amount of time, and then I sing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I think I quoted the old cartoon show Clone High a little bit too much, and my roommates had to have an intervention at one point.
I reference Steven Universe quite a bit. No, watch Steven Universe.
I like to reference TV to people who don't know it, so it goes completely over their heads. They don't know what I'm talking about, but they don't know that I'm talking about anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be making a reference, but they just think I'm talking normally, and those are my words I use, and that's fun.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so I'm insane.
How do we package this
Well, I think we could sell...
as an episode, I guess.
We could sell, not a film this time, but we could sell a special fourth wall camera that you could have like mounted to your shoulder. So if you wanted to do the inner monologue, you could have an actual screen to talk to.
So a selfie stick.
So it's technically just like, pointing at your face.
Yeah, and then you'll just...
And then will
Selfie stick.
Will it turn on when it recognizes your face?
It'll turn on, and it'll have like a little voice modulator on as well, so you can start doing a Kevin Spacey impression. And then you could just turn to the camera and just go, I fucking cheated on this assessment. I'm gonna win all the exams. I can't do Kevin Spacey. And then we could have a special map with a hole in it.
Well, it could, we could give the commercial as like one of those like infomercials, and it's like, has this ever happened to you?
Yeah.
And the guy's,
to you. Mom, I swear I'm not
put a
fucking
hole-
the map.
and then he turns to his shoulder and right in front of her and says, "I'm totally fucking the map."
But
nobody's
with
watching
noise cancelling headphones. So like that's the thing, right? People with noise cancelling headphones sometimes forget that they're talking about stuff they think nobody can hear. So then you say, but everybody can hear it. So you're just blabbing out all your deepest secrets and weirdest thoughts, and everybody can hear it. But
this is a reason for you to do that. So are you tired of just your thoughts going nowhere? Record them on the fourth wall breaking shoulder cam, or
But have you never dreamed about having contact lenses which can record or photograph the exact thing you're seeing right now? Because every time you try to photograph the moon or sunrise, you
Google Glasses
can never get the right, but with thoughts, so you can record your exact
Are we going
thoughts.
black
Like
in
it
the...
doesn't have to be a camera, just like a chip which can record your inner monologue.
So like Black Mirror.
When did Black Mirror
Right,
ever
I'd
have an
kill
inner
for that
monologue?
because I sometimes get
The one where
connected.
the guy reviews the stuff in his head over and over again and ends up cutting it out of his head because his wife left him and blah 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 blah.
Which
Yeah,
one was that?
like
which
that?
episode was that?
Oh,
Oh
that
man.
Oh, White Christmas.
No. It's the one where the guy is so obsessed with the stuff going on in his head. He rewinds, and then he finds out that his wife was cheating on him, and his
that
daughter's
one,
not really his
yeah.
daughter, and blah. Yeah, that was
Oh,
White
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
White
Wait,
Christmas.
no,
I'm
it
just
wasn't.
thinking
Was
of the
No, that was
the
the
story.
Intelligence Review.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
More Black
Oh,
Mirror
Where
spoilers,
he
everybody.
crashed against. Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So, but as a product, it would be the fourth wall breaking camera, so that those thoughts that you just like randomly throw out, are being captured and recorded, and so there's a reason for you to be that transparent with your
and-
thoughts.
But does it like record you literally like Matt in the
Yeah.
in class going to the side and talking to actual thing, or is it just recording your thoughts
No.
like it would
Hey,
with Kevin Spacey?
You're literally turning towards the
Thing.
camera and speaking.
Okay, but that's just a camera then. A selfie
Yes,
stick, as
but
I
we're
said
selling
before.
this as a
Oh.
product to capture.
Oh, but if you
Oh,
want to
okay.
take the thought activated thing in, we could have, and this is going to sound quite unusual, we could have a thought activated thing that goes anytime you think, whoa, that map's looking a bit dirty, you can have a special map that comes out of it. Has like a little hand that will come out of your pocket, and it will just start jerking you off with a map.
You could create your own personal catchphrase, like in a TV show, that you say, and then turn to the camera and wink.
Like anytime it's just an innuendo, he's going, ooh, and then you just turn back.
But that's what she said.
That's what
Wait.
she said.
So that would develop into everyone owning kind of these shoulder selfie thought sticks, and
Yeah, it
everybody
is-
had their own catchphrase which would activate this camera.
Yes.
But who would see these clips getting filmed?
It's the
these
next step in
fourth
social
wall breaks?
media.
Oh,
Everybody's
no, these
doing
don't
it.
actually record. You think these record? No, this is just so you can have that inner monologue of turning to the side and talking and not seem crazy. This could be a mental health treatment.
We could always just say there's a social aspect to it, and not actually like record anything or put it up anywhere, but give them points anyways.
Just
Oh man, my fourth wall breaking has netted me 5 additional points today.
oh,
Yeah.
man, what-
And then I turn to my camera and goes, "Yeah, that's what she said." Wink. So stupid. But anyways, go back to the guy fucking the map and his parents walk in for the infomercial. And so now he could actually like say, "It's not what it looks like." Oh boy. Wait to the camera, or something like that. And a laugh track will play in the background.
This is a spin-off of Friends.
So yeah, it could be the sitcom fourth wall shoulder mounted camera.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So just turn your life into a sitcom. And yeah. There, you know what, Matt? I think that would actually be a solution to make you seem a little bit less crazy when you do
That'd
that.
be pretty good.
But the first people who are going to get this product, wouldn't they seem a bit off? I mean, at some point, eventually, everybody would have that and keep on blabbing about
No, but that's
themselves.
the thing. All we have to do is tell all the kids in the adverts that this is the next thing, and it's really popular, and that if you don't have it, you'll be a social outcast forever. This product will be so desirable, children will be begging their parents to go into financial ruin just so they can have it.
So I think the best media strategy would be to get some vloggers on board.
Yeah, let's have
Well,
Let's-
we need
they
to
can-
do a
We got-
Kickstarter,
you know,
asking for millions of
PewDiePie owes me a
dollars.
favour. Let's just get him. Let's get.
Just like that watch that's supposed to project on your hands, and you type on it. It has no chance of being real whatsoever. Just start a company. Go to a bunch of
Can
technology
we call the company
conferences.
Mapfuckers?
Show off and prototype it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mapfuckers. Okay, now you have to buy the domain name mapfuckers.com.
Cartography fetish enthusiasts is how we like to call ourselves.
We can branch out. We can have foot fetishes where just anytime you start thinking about feet, just a nice foot start rubbing against your crotch. You can have the sadomasochists.
And we'll just sell it all
You
to
can have the
Hustler at some point.
sadomasochists
We'll
just
make
have
lots
a
of money.
whip. And that one we can make as a social statement about what's socially acceptable now and breaking those barriers. So why can't people have automatic flagellators in their homes and in their places of work?
Why
No, why couldn't
couldn't
they? Yes, you're racist.
Yeah. I mean, if you could break the fourth wall anywhere, at any time, and speak your mind, why not, let the slippery slope go as far as
Quite
it possibly
literally,
can?
in many ways, with this slippery slope.
Guys,
Slippery
Which one,
slope,
Joel?
guys, I just want to say, I just googled mapfuckers.com.
It's not a thing, is it?
And first, no, it's not. Nothing. It's not even someone
There's no
owned it to sell
cartography.
it. There's
fetish.
nothing. Literally, it doesn't exist. Nobody has ever acquired it to sell it on. But now Google.
Now
We
has
live
your
in a
history.
world
Yeah,
where...
that's there.
Okay,
And when your parents look it up and they see that, you could turn to your shoulder and be like, "Oh boy," and a laugh track
This
will play.
again.
here's the thing.
There I go again.
That genuinely surprised me that no one's taken Map Fuckers, because Jim Henson have the rights to Muppet Fuckers. That's not even a
God,
joke,
nice.
that's a genuine
Seriously.
thing.
All right, so that's our episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
If you got this far in the episode, God bless you.
Yes, thank you to all of our viewers. That number in maybe the tens, I think, at this point.
Steady
and,
on.
we're not positive.
Twos, I think.
Not positive. It's just not us downloading repeatedly.
Yeah.
And clicking the like button.
Hold on. Let's.
I found a gay porn website called Star Mobfuckers. So there's that.
Okay.
Right.
Good night, everyone. Peace.
The podcast with no aim.
Hello, this is Nick from A Podcast with No Aim. Thank you for listening. I just want to inform you all that you could always find more information about us and more episodes on pwna.podbean.com. You could also find us on iTunes and on YouTube. If you want to get in contact with us, you could always tweet us on Twitter using the handle Podcast No Aim. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you again for listening.